Okay, I got a message request on YouTube requesting my suggestions personally for good beginner tarantulas. I figured I'd just go into good beginner arachnids in general as far as scorpions and spiders go. Since I don't keep centipedes, I'm not going to comment on those because I have no real desire to keep centipedes. So I'll start out with tarantulas. The two species I'm currently keeping is the guy on a pink toe, which is a vicularia, and the rose-haired tarantula, which is somewhere in there. Both of these species are really fun to keep. The Chilean rosehair is pretty much your generic. I mean, I don't like to say generic, but I say generic when I say that because everyone either has a rose-haired tarantula or has started with a rose-haired tarantula. I look at them almost like bearded dragons. Everyone's had one. But the pink toes, like, out of these two, pink toes are what I recommend. Why? Because I find them more interesting, honestly. I find pink toes to be really, really cool. Because they make these awesome webs that are literally, they look like little mini tornadoes. While they are much faster, or a good bit faster than the rose hairs, and probably have a little bit more of an aggressive streak in them than the rose hairs would, like they'd be more apt to whack you. I don't handle mine. It's not recommended that you handle tarantulas at all. I have handled it before. It's fast. They like to jump sometimes. And they're just quick. But they're really pretty. I've gotten really good pictures of them. For those of you who have me on MySpace, which is like 1 subscriber, you've seen the pictures that I've taken of them. And they give you really good pictures when they're out. They get to be kind of a good size. They're not a big one though. They're a New World tarantula, native to South America, which means they're a hair flicker. Like to flick the urticating hairs at you that are irritating, they itch. But they're a really pretty species. As far as the rose hairs go, easy to keep. The pink toes are easy to keep. They're a little bit more. They require a little bit more than the rose hairs, but not much, honestly. Rose hairs are fun, but like I said, you know, everyone has them. I'll put them in night mode. Maybe it's because it's on macro. I don't know. Trying to get it to cooperate. There we go. Okay. Rose hairs are neat. Mine hides under there a lot of the time. You can kind of see him, I think, if that's him. Now, as far as scorpions go, I currently have 2 species in my collection. One being the Haedogenes paucidens, which is the South African flat rock scorpions, and Babycur's jacksoni, which also isn't a bad species, but I must warn, or at least state, the jacksoni are hotter than your average emperor scorpion and your beginner species, your bread and butter. These guys pack much more of a punch than those species. They're rather trigger happy with the stinger. It doesn't take much provocation to make them really go. They're fast. They're a fun species to keep though. They're really hardy. Would I recommend them as a beginner species? Probably not, but there are some people that would. And the only reason a lot of people don't recommend them for beginners is because of the fact that they're in the Buthidae family, which means they're related to the Israeli deathstalkers, the Androctonus species, which are considered medically significant to a high degree. But they're really pretty. Here, flip it to regular. They're really pretty. They got a nice orange color to them. Got black tip claws. They grow pretty quick. They're communal as adults, from what I understand, from what I've seen. You can keep them as adults. When you keep them young like this, I'm not willing to take a chance on losing a scorpion since I only have 3 of them. At this age, I'm not going to try it. The Haedogenes species probably the most passive species of scorpion I can think of. These guys really, it takes a hell of a lot to make these guys sting. I mean, they just won't do it. Like, I've put a cricket in there and I've tried to see if he would. He wouldn't do it. He'd just grab it with his claws and he'd just push it away. What is up with my camera? They're native to Africa, South Africa, I believe. Just like the Babicurus are, except these guys are native to Tanzania, native areas around that. Yeah, you know, lost my train of thought. That species, the Hadogenes, from what I read, venom rates on a scale of like 0.5 to 1 on a scale of 1 to 10. I've heard of people saying that the sting itself hurts more than the venom, and few people actually even felt the effects of the venom. These guys, I've heard it feels like you've had your finger slammed with a hammer with the person who was swinging it not holding back. Just to kind of give you an idea. Not fun. See how fat they are though, because they've been eating like little pigs the past 2 weeks. They're growing like weeds. Haven't molted yet, but as you can see, they're fixing to because they're so fat. Now, they don't look fast, but when you open this up and you start moving them around, they are gone like a bolt of lightning. All these are fun species to keep. Now I'll go into true spiders for a second, but we all know what true spiders I'm going to be talking about, and that's Latrodectus spiders, which is the widows. Now, I'm not recommending widows for beginners at all. They're so hot, not even joking. Oh man, they're like I said before, about 14 times more toxic than rattlesnakes, 15 or so actually. They're not an aggressive species, but when they're on their web, think of it as a zip line. They can get where they want on their web, and they can get where they want fast. When they're on the ground, though, they're pretty clumsy on the ground, but that's besides the point. Fun species to keep, fun genus to keep, even. Not hard to keep, but if you were to be bit, if you were a healthy adult, like me, I'm not quite an adult, I'm 17, not an adult, I turned 18 in December, for those of you who want to know. If you're a healthy adult, you're in good shape, you don't have cardiovascular disease, you're not a geriatric, and if you're not a small child, you'll just be in a world of hurt for about 2 days. You get latrodectism-like effects, which is pretty much where your body, the muscles in your abdomen, and your back, and your legs just cramp up. It's likely one of the most painful experiences you could probably go through without having to go to the hospital. Deaths are pretty rare. There were 65 recorded deaths between the years of 1950 and 1959. Of course, that was back before they had all the technology like we do today, so that'd be even lower number today. But I keep these guys because I like to. It's a hobby for me. I've been keeping all kinds of stuff like this for many years now. I don't recommend widows. Yeah, they're enjoyable, but only keep them if you really know what you're doing. There's a boa. Let's go back to night mode. Broop, there we are. Rawr. He's the mean one. He's the one with the attitude. So yeah, like I said, I'm sorry I don't have any lighting, like my lamp bulbs went out. So, that's pretty much my take on arachnids. As far as true spiders, theraphosids, aka tarantulas, and scorpions go. There's many more species I'd recommend, and I'll delve into that in another video, probably make it part 2 or something crazy like that, I don't know. But, this was just, a request, and I figured I'd actually get on this one, because I had one a while back on all my snakes, filmed it, never got on the computer. Sorry about that. I just got, from school and work and all that good stuff. more requests. I mean, I like requests. I like seeing subscriber activity. I'm just filming random stuff now as I talk. Requests are appreciated.